Hello, Divine Sunshiners. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, this is Divine Sunshines coming to you with the next survival guide, getting things out of your systems. We have gotten a lot of systems. Spirit is about to be, and they say you need to talk about people getting things out of their systems. And literally, we are a system. We got a bodily, respiratory system. We got everything else, other kind of system, muscular, skeletal system, and those systems help us to stay connected in a lot of ways. Cellular system, but then we also have systems that we have been a part of and have experienced as been a part of our environment, such as the corporate or business system, family system, all those things. And as more and more we become exposed to that, some of those exposures things to like organizational systems or organizations that we belong to play a part as to who we are. Now, some of those systems that we have, we could take them as learning lessons. And in those learning lessons, they help us to be able to grow, help us to either become more of a leader, help us to understand our own identity of who we are. And some of it, in some ways, has made us play more of a part of that system and finding ourselves to kind of fade to black or fade into the background and be part of the wallpaper of everything else that's actually going on. So in that systems that we have, there are certain cultural things, makeups and things that we play a part of when we're doing as far as in the system of like in a business or corporation. It's a certain mindset that you have to adapt. It's a certain things that you have. And sometimes those systems there don't transfer over too well into regular life or into what you're talking about, into spiritual. Some things in the family dynamic that you have, those systems are things that buck again and go against what we are as far as us being divine. And those are the things that when we talk about the family ways, the family manner or the honor and the ways that we do things, rather it's business or an organization or those things, we have to watch the connections that we make, because sometimes they're saying making it concrete as far as the patterns that we are ingrained in us, that we pretty much didn't think that is part of us, but it's going on that ticker tape, as I call it, or that underlying program that's going on. Source told me about the attention about systems, those systems, almost like a sewer system and all those water systems, those things that's showing me that run underground and are very vital to help us to understand spiritually who we are, but at the same time, just like the water and the sewer system, they both run underground, but both of those things are things that we had to, one gives us life and the other one we got to get rid of. And those are the two things that when we're talking about systems, we have to operate on that. What things kind of help us to use this as a foundation or a crutch to get us where we are, but what systems do we use that are enabling us to be not the best version of ourselves, but to go on or old pattern or paradigm that's making us go cookie cutter just like everybody else. Those systems in place, whether it's a school system or whatever, come to discipline us to formulate and to act a certain way. And those things you got to kind of think as us being divine and light workers. Again, is something that we're thinking about is like, what can we do with that system to say, yes, I see it, but at the same time, what needs to be turned on its head so it can be created brand new or bring new life to it? Because a lot of us, some of our calling is to be in those systems so we can be able to create something new in it. Okay, whether it's a school system, business system, or whatever it is like that. Is for us to come and say, okay, that worked then. but this needs to change. It's just like the school system we have. The school system is now based upon old things back in the 1900s of school systems of doing that. It's really underlying. You think it wasn't, but it's still underlying that teachers get paid less. That also understanding that teachers in some ways are expected to kind of sacrifice a lot. Back then it was, I remember when I went to class, they was talking about teachers are supposed to be the modeled citizens. You're supposed to not drink, not go out and do certain things because they were looking upon you to be a martyr, or not a role model for, or it could be a martyr, I might not slipped out, for the students and for everybody. They was expected really at that time that you weren't supposed to have a family. Teachers were supposed to be single. And those things, and understanding that, everybody learning the same pattern in the one schoolhouse back then. And now we know we got different grade levels, but at the same time, they expect us to be different. Learn the same way. However, now it's pushed fast forward. Now you got, diverse learners, you got small group instructions, which is supposed to be differentiated, help to meet each other's needs. But at the same time, when you go to different schools in the U.S., you see a lot of them still resonating in using old things, old textbooks, not technologically savvy, not using that. And you see the kids walking around with phones, and you're saying, okay, and laptops, and they're more technologically savvy than you as the teacher. And you're saying, where's the disconnect? There's not that. So again, that's what we're talking about, systems. And you're going in there and saying, well, how can we change this or make this different so these students can be ready for the new, what they call it, the new age or the new world that we're preparing for? Where is it almost like the school systems? We call themselves updating or upgrading as we go along in the system, but it's saying, you know what, it's still based upon the same principles. Teachers still get underpaid. They're not paid as much as their wealth. They are almost, in some ways, they expect them to sacrifice a lot of their time and energy as if they are not a parent, as if they are not that. And so again, it's also going back to the old thing where teachers need to be, or was expected to be single. That was schooling, or being in the school was their sole purpose, was their sole focus on that. You didn't have family back then, and that wasn't really the ultimate situation that they wanted teachers to have. They wanted them to be single in that. So again, where is it in some ways that we call ourselves adopting something new, but in the line that you say, there it goes. It's still there. The old foundational principles, just like that water and sewer system, is still there. You calling it giving life, but at the same time, it's got to, something's got to get rid of, and that's the water and the sewer system, the undercurrent of the systems that's going on there. So, it makes us say, again, spirits is like, let's go. I question you, and I ask you the question again, what systems are you thinking that you have updated, just like a computer, and still is running off the old program, and it has not updated or changed? It still has the foundational things that where you have been in other systems, family, again, it could be religious systems, all those kind of things, whatever system that again is underneath old paradigm, or is a fixed structure, fixed foundational thing. Is it that you need to look and see, okay, is this really playing more of a part of my life, of me not finding freedom? Because that's really what the union with self is, and finding your bliss. Your bliss is really about finding your freedom. And so this is where we are. Where is it in these systems that is keeping us in self-imposed prisons with ourselves, that we are not able to get out of where we are? And it's imposing on not even just union on ourselves, but then when we look at it as far as how is that system playing a part on the dynamics of the connections that I have outside of myself. How is it affecting my divine masculine energies, my alphaness, how I'm able to lead, how I'm able to get out of this, because I'm still playing the part of the role of the systems that have been placed inside of me. Just give me something to say, like Arsenio saw, something to say, go, on. because that's where we are. Because in this new world, we're coming in it to break up those systems, to come up with something different. And so we've got to get those systems out of our own system, out of our own brain, out of our own bodily and functioning cellular and whatever it is dynamics out of us, so we can really truly break free of that self-imposed prison that we have within ourselves. All right then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. Love you.